Hi guys, welcome to the roast session for your weekly dose of heat, where we will pelt you with podcasts and gaming videos. Follow us also on twitch.tv/the roast session. And we're back, because you just finished the last roast, didn't you?
2 weeks ago.
If it takes you that long to finish it,
Some of you watch them late, that's understandable. And we put them out late, but that's because, we can't stomach it. Also, we got to give, obviously these podcasts have spoilers, and we got to give you time to get a feel for the movie, get your own idea, just so we could shit on it also, alright?
Yeah.
I swear. I wish that was the reason why we didn't do this weekly.
Anyways.
I wish that was the exact reason why we don't do this weekly.
But, the movie we're covering today is DC's latest movie.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes, the Suicide Squad.
Assault on Arkham.
I gotta give, we're gonna do this rotisserie sauce. I'm gonna let Lugo go first. Lugo, you start it up. Start off hot.
I'm not gonna. No, you guys are the heat. I'm
You're
the
preheat?
Yeah, I'm the preheat.
We don't know any cooking terms.
Well, basically, my take on the movie. I went in there. I didn't go with high expectations because I learned. I learned.
I've been trained.
What happened was Batman vs Superman ruined everything for me. It ruined everything for me. But anyway, aside from that,
Shattered your reality.
I went in there. I saw cheeks. I left happy.
You're happy with just Margot Robbie's cheeks?
Yeah. I don't know why. I don't know. I find her to be super attractive. Like, can I just talk about that?
Sure.
This is your half in the roast. Go for it.
She's attractive. Guys, watch the movie. She's attractive. That's it.
I think that says a lot. That's all you can say about the movie.
But okay, no, cause I like.
What do you think about the storyline, Lugo? Did you see
check
Harley
this.
Quinn?
I don't know, because I felt like the storyline, the whole thing, the fact that they kept it like hidden from the trailers and stuff was pretty cool, and the way everything turned out. But I feel like it's just the movie sucked. I had good moments, but the movie sucked.
You know what? I couldn't
have
have
said it
better myself. What were the good moments, Lugo?
The good moments for me were I liked most of the Joker scenes. Not because the Joker was good, but because because of his laugh was funny, and then just how odd he was. He was odd. Like,
remember when he straddled that man, the security officer?
Oh,
when he was like, "Kiss my ring," and he straddled his like
We're
crotch.
gonna be friends.
Like I was just like,
he was on his
like,
lap.
not that good.
Like, he was just odd. Like, I felt like he was probably one of the legit psychopath Jokers. Like, you know how sometimes they have like this this charming thing to a Joker, he's odd but he's also like cool at the same time. This guy wasn't cool. He was just straight psycho, like straight nuts.
Alright.
And there was no like positive anything to him really. He was just like, I'll fuck you up and that's it. And then here's another thing. Need to hear the tapping. He actually loved Harley in this fucking movie.
He does love Harley.
Like he would not sacrifice her. He went after her the whole movie.
That's a different Joker.
That's a different Joker. Like, he legitimately went after her and everything.
different isn't always good. I just want to say that.
No, but I didn't even notice that. This is the first time Joker's ever really portrayed as that. He
I wonder if they
desperately
did
wants
that.
Harley.
I wonder if they did that because of the whole thing that's going on right with like the female, like they treat females with respect and all that. Maybe that.
Oh, they didn't want to trigger anyone?
Yeah, they didn't want to trigger anyone. I'm thinking that's.
Well, good job because they triggered me.
I mean, the movie was so bad it kind of just washed over me. So if anything was different, I didn't notice.
Yeah, that's why I kind of don't have much to say, because it just kind of, I watched it, and I just went in with no opinions. I came out with very little opinions, except for butt cheeks. The butt cheeks was the highlight for me. That's it.
Hams.
That's it.
So, Mark, Harley Quinn was your favorite character, I guess.
I guess.
And is there anything in the movie that you disliked then?
The fact that the main plot of the thing was just, I felt like it was just thrown in there. Like I think they probably filmed the whole movie and just last minute made the plot up, and then
You think they filmed random scenes and then they cut and paste the story?
Pretty much, and then they were just like, you know what could be better? Let's just make this happen. Let's just, oh yeah, we could talk with spoilers, right?
Go for it.
Like let's just she has a brother. She's gonna set him free. They're gonna take over. You know, that's it. Wait, because I don't know much about Suicide Squad. Enchantress, is she a part of Suicide Squad?
No.
She's part of Justice League Dark. I don't really remember reading any comic books where she's like a mainstay member.
So people that knew about Suicide Squad knew that she was gonna be something else already, or
the way they advertised her in the film, she looked like she was just gonna be the magical member of the group.
yeah, that's what I thought. So when that happened, they flippity dippity. I was like, oh snap, okay.
Yeah, what's your take on it?
Alright, so, I'm going to come through with, dropping these hot facts. Tell you everything that was wrong with that film, because it's a lot. But, you start with, the general plot of the story, It's Amanda Waller assembling this, Suicide Squad. Now you have to ask yourself, what are the reasons for the Suicide Squad? Now Amanda Waller says so they can, fight against threats, like from metahumans. So they're like, we need metahumans to fight them. Now, how many of the Suicide Squad are metahumans? You have Diablo. I think he counts. And maybe Killer Croc? But, everybody else, and I guess maybe the Enchantress. Is she really a metahuman? She's not really human. But I guess there are people with powers. So it's I was like, so why do they have Harley Quinn? Because literally the description of her was that she's crazier than Joker. And I was like, that's not a power. You can just go to a mental asylum and say, you're a metahuman. I need help.
Yeah. Oddly enough, she held up her own somehow.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
I'm getting to that later. But the thing that really got me about this movie is the fact that they kind of made their own villain. So when they said we have to assemble the Suicide Squad, nothing would have happened if they didn't assemble the Suicide Squad to begin with.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Literally, they got the Enchantress, and she was the start of the whole problems of the movie. So literally, if they didn't even decide to make that team, nothing would happen. Also, where was Batman during this?
And there it is. There's a big plot hole in this story.
Or Wonder Woman.
Well, there was a 7-Eleven that was getting stuck up.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, you gotta go handle that.
Because I wanted to bring it up.
But
what's funny is in the briefing, he tells them a few days ago a terrorist attack happened. That means a few days had passed when Enchantress stole the heart back, released her brother, and them just causing mayhem in a giant light show that everyone in the world could see, mind you. But there's no sign of any Justice League member because fuck Midway City.
What's funny is that, isn't that extremely close to Gotham or in Gotham?
They say it's down in the south, I believe, because they say when they're looking for Harley Quinn, they're like, if anyone's branded a metahuman, they're sent down to a coop up place in the south.
So Batman just didn't care.
You know what's funny? Given the way the city looks, you wouldn't be able to tell.
You wouldn't.
Gotham doesn't look like Gotham, like from the comics. Gotham looks like New York City. Metropolis looks like New York City. This looked like New York City.
This was Jersey.
I don't even know what the fuck this movie was saying.
And you know what's funny? Based on how the villains were defeated, Batman actually was right. They don't need my help. Because guess how the villains are defeated in this movie? I already told you who was part of this team, so you know a lot of them are not metahumans. Harley Quinn is beating some of these bad guys with bats and guns and hammers.
With the love-hate.
Killer Croc is just beating them with his hands. He's just giving them the hands. And Deadshot is killing them with guns, which is okay, guns are pretty effective, but I was like, there's a bunch of soldiers here, and he's mowing a whole bunch of them down, and I was like, you guys captured him and had his weapons. Why do you need him? They're like, he can't miss. I was like, who cares about missing? The guns are killing them. So that was absolutely ridiculous. But the most ridiculous part was the end with Enchantress and her brother the fact that the soldiers were like, we set up a plan. We have bombs. And I was just thinking, I was like, alright, these bombs are probably going to do some like special thing to expose them. Maybe the bombs have some magic to them. Maybe that's the reason they kept Flag alive this whole time. Maybe he's going to do something, right? And the bombs just blow them up.
Regular C4.
And I was like, so why should you assemble this team in the first place? It seems that our technology is good enough to stop any kind of metahuman. Bombs. Secondly, they're like, what if someone comes down and it's Superman, another metahuman, but he's not on our side? And I was like, Superman would not lose to the Suicide Squad. At least not the one that you assembled here. Who's going to stop him?
No C4 bombs.
He got by a nuke and lived.
We'll hope this one's weaker.
Like, honestly, the movie didn't, like, make any sense. Aside from it being, like, so terribly cut. Like, you're going from one scene to another. It kind of worked in the starting when they were doing the character, like, introductions. But, like, that's probably one of the better parts of the movie. But the rest of the movie where it's like, here's our Harley Quinn, like, flashback with the Joker. And she's jumping into this solution. And now they're kissing. And now we're back to something else. And I was like, what was that for? Why did they do this? Why did they do this to me? I don't know if you watched the shitty movie.
Why are you hurting me?
I mean, aside from that, the movie was shot, like, really, really dark. So a lot of things I couldn't even, like, see. I was like, the fuck is going on? Like, this movie being recorded in a bathroom? Do they even care that I'm watching it? Like, this movie was a bunch of problems. The fact that Katana slashes people and it doesn't take their souls. Like, they explain, if you get slashed with a sword, take your souls. And I was like, okay, continue. Then she slashes people and they just live. And I was like, what's the point of your power? Why are you in this movie? That's how I felt about this movie. Because the only people that got lines were Harley Quinn and Deadshot. And I was like, so why are the other characters in the movie? You might as well just have, like, a movie where Joker's the bad guy, Harley Quinn's in it, and Deadshot's, like, on the side. And then maybe you got Batman in the movie. And maybe they assemble the, Suicide Squad at the end where it's like Deadshot's name, and then you see a bunch of other names next to it.
What's crazy is that actually sounds like a really good movie.
Hollywood hit me up.
If they were to start in separate points and, like, at the end they decide to form a Suicide Squad, or maybe that's when Amanda Waller, like, recruits them all.
Maybe our group formed to try and take out Batman, since half this group was comprised of Batman villains.
Wow, y'all just wrote a better movie.
So it kind of, like, seems like kind of how Marvel, like, develops their characters, develops their universe, and then has a movie. It's like, the first movie wasn't the Avengers. It was like, you had a couple of movies before that. This movie's like, nah, Suicide Squad. And I was like, what about all these characters? You can't just introduce Joker in a Suicide Squad movie.
And barely have him in it.
Like, they kept alluding to Joker's this guy. The same thing in Batman vs. Superman, where they're like, Joker's this guy. And I was like, I haven't seen him. And now that I've seen him, I'm like, this is Joker? Are you kidding me? Even the way he breaks into stuff. Like, sure, he was, like, breaking into their facility, stealing Harley back, all this and that and the third. But they didn't really explain how he did it. Like, I know that he had, like, got the guy to, like, tell him, like, some certain things about the place. But he literally came there with guns. If they can't protect themselves from guns, then anybody could have walked up. Like, you didn't even, like, what, like one of those Italian guys. Corleone or whatever, one of those Batman villains. You could have just walked in there. All you need is guns.
The rolling theme of this movie is that guns are all powerful.
Guns and bombs, man. You see a metahuman, bombs, man. Like, I don't know why these people are scared of Enchantress. I was like, if I have C4, I'm actually stronger than you. I'm a metahuman.
Well, I don't get how Enchantress lost any of the fights, though.
What's funny, that fight was pretty funny. She fought him all with the swords and whatnot, and she's like, you guys are whooping my ass. And she pulled the weapons away. She's like, so you could have done that any time during the fight.
She could have done a lot. Like,
there's two things about that fight. It's the fact that she, one, pulls all the weapons when she realizes they're a match for her. But for the fact that she's fighting them and Katana has a sword, and she's like, fuck, this leaves her like a good. Oh, yeah. 10 seconds, and he comes back with 2 swords. If I was Katana, I'd be like, what is that? This is bullshit.
I just like how she's like, I can mess with your desires, and her power did not work on them.
Any of them.
Like, Diablo's just like, no. And I was like, do something else then. Show him something else. Show him, like, a true peaceful life. And maybe that'll trick him.
In respect to that, I do respect the Harley Quinn's desire of a normal Jared Leto. I was not messing with that idea.
She was like, real talk, I don't want to look at his face. You need to clean that up. Oh man, this movie just. I mean, it didn't really beat me down. The only thing that really like got me is because people were like, "Okay, it's not that great, guys, but it's still better than Batman vs Superman," and I disagree. This is just as bad as Batman vs Superman.
DC has at least consistency. We could say that.
They're consistently bad.
It's just always gonna be a bad movie. Just go in thinking this is going to be shit.
I mean, to help with the whole Batman vs Superman situation, which one is worse is the fact that at least Batman vs Superman got an opinion out of me, whether it was negative or positive.
Oh, this movie broke you? You just have nothing?
I really don't have anything to say. I feel like I don't have anything to say about it. It didn't impress me, and it didn't not impress me.
Thing about me is, I'll say like this movie would be better than Batman v Superman. We're about to re-roast that movie, but think about that movie is so bad you can't even like it jokingly. This movie I can at least like sarcastically. You'd be like, you remember Joker's ridiculous scenes in this movie? His laugh, like,
his scenes are funny.
So it's like the new Transformers 3.
That is still the funniest movie I've ever seen.
I like that they showed like the old old Harley.
Oh, that little.
Oh yeah, that was cool. It was like just randomly in there.
Yeah, it was randomly in there, but that was pretty cool.
Alright, before y'all continue though, remember when we were watching the movie out, and I said Will Smith's scene with him on top of the car is like the best scene in the movie?
Oh yeah, and I was like, this is it? This movie is garbage.
Out of all the scenes, would you not agree that was like the best scene of the movie?
That's like the best scene of the movie.
I would like the fans to know, towards the end of this movie, I did a little fib, I lied to y'all. Y'all thought it was ending, and I was like, y'all, now this is the midway point. This is where it gets good. And he actually yelled at me. He said, no, you're lying. Nothing can save this movie.
He's like, this movie will never be good.
I mean, the thing about this movie is that it's the same thing as, like, the X-Men Apocalypse thing that I was talking about early on. Like, if you came in to watch an action movie, there's not that much action in this movie. Trust me, I watched the whole thing.
Choreography was horrible.
The horror was, I told you, it was recorded in the bathroom. Like, they didn't care about nothing. Like, there's no lighting. They were like, let's get it over with, guys. Here it is. I mean, like, do you see CGI
Alright,
on
time
Diablo?
for the main fight. We'll just put fog and dark and, lighting for everyone. Nobody needs to actually swing.
Did you see, like, the CGI with Diablo when they first showed him?
I saw it the second time.
It was so great they had to show it twice. They were like, look at this shitty CGI. Oh, you didn't catch it? Wait 30 more minutes. We'll show it again.
So let me get on my take on the movie. I'll start off on the things I liked on this movie. I like Diablo. Diablo is the only character besides Harley Quinn and Will Smith who gets a little bit of the limelight. I'm upset that it's, like the stereotypical Spanish person, like, I need to defend my family, family first before everything else. But whatever, if that's all we can get, I'm down with the Latinos. Fine, we'll take it. But I like Diablo. Yes, the bar scene's cliched, but it's actually the only time you can get these villains to bond over something, because he's the only one who has regret. None of them regret over the shit they've done.
You got Deadshot.
He doesn't regret any of his killings. He's like, man, I wish I had my daughter.
He
doesn't regret
Well, yeah, when
shit.
he put on his suit, he was like, every time I put on the suit, someone dies. I like it. I was like, oh, alright, well, you're crazy then.
Well, he never put on the suit. So.
Oh, yeah, well,
he put it on once.
He put it on for like 2 scenes or something.
Because he didn't like it that much.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, yes, like we talked about that scene being cliched, but the bar scene is the only time where a character can actually develop. That's when, like, that is the climax of the movie, the turning point. And I was like, I'm glad it's Diablo, because nobody else can have it. Killer Croc doesn't have a fucking story in this movie.
Explain the story.
There are layers to this. There are actual layers to this. Because when Amanda Waller, the intro, which is the best part of this movie, her introducing people, she's like, Deadshot, he never misses. Quick scene to him ricocheting a bullet. Harley Quinn, she's crazy. That's not really a power, but okay. This guy looks at the picture of Killer Croc. He's like, what the fuck is that?
That seems like he was like, oh my good lord, what is that?
And then Amanda Waller explains verbatim. She goes, he looked like a monster, so we treated him like a monster. Then he became one. So he did no crime. Why is he in jail? This man is here, and even Flag asked him, he's like, why are you here? He's like, I asked. This character, Killer Croc, has a special spot on this roast. Because he's the strong, or supposed to be the strong silent type.
We'll give him the Hulk. He's the Drax.
The Drax, the Groot, all
he's
that.
Big. He's the big tough dude.
The thing about this character type is it's so hard to fail. Because they don't talk a lot, everything they say should sink, should resonate, should have power. Everything he said, I'm assuming, was supposed to be a joke. And it just wasn't funny.
I wasn't laughing.
He's like, I'm beautiful. Yeah, you are. I was like, is that a moment? Do I feel something? No, I don't. Everything Killer Croc was in this movie, they're like, you can have anything you want. What do you want? He's like, B-E-T. I was like, God, you were just awful.
Want booty.
But it explains a lot of the premise of this movie. Because none of them are metahumans. So when they're asking, like, Amanda Waller, why would you set this team up? She's like, they look like metahumans, so we'll treat them. Well, Amanda Waller, this looks like a bad movie, so we'll treat it like a bad movie. And there's so much to go into this movie. Like I said, that days had passed in this movie, so when she's introducing people, when she's introducing Captain Boomerang, I'm blown away at this scene because the Flash is in this scene. Now, this bothers me because I thought we were going to get the Flash becoming the Flash in Justice League. But alright, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's already an established character. You wouldn't get that based off the movie because he's, in street clothes in a 7-Eleven buying milk. But whatever. Maybe he's already established as the Flash. Why wasn't he in this movie? Again, that's not my city. I'm in Central City only. Days had passed. She's throwing lightning bolts across satellites and destroying shit across the world.
He's like, it's deep. It's deep. Your power is super speed. It's deep.
I can't be bothered. 13 seconds off my leg. I can't be bothered with this.
Which makes me think, alright, maybe with luck, with fucking luck, maybe it's because Batman is forming. Maybe this is running at the same time as the Justice League movie. Batman's busy with Flash. We had a little teaser of him, like, throwing a batarang at him. But no, because if you managed to stomach the credits after this movie, and you stayed for the scene, Batman is asking Amanda Waller for information on people he already has information on from Lex Luthor. Why? Where was Batman?
What the fuck?
It doesn't make... You didn't watch the last scene?
It's just him talking
so you actually were one of the people that couldn't stomach the credits?
No, I literally left. I finished.
Get me the fuck out of here.
I don't blame you.
I don't blame you. You saw the credits, you're like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. Before they... Because the one thing this movie did do, it had, I like Diablo. I like the intro. I was like, this is a little... it's like, it was kind of raunchy in the beginning when they're introducing all the villains. Like, I wonder how they're going to get these wacky characters that have nothing in common to, link up. But what this movie did have was just a soundtrack for every fucking face that went on screen. They had endless songs. This movie's going to sound great. Matter of fact, they should have kept music going through the whole thing, and it would have been a music video. And it would have been fantastic.
Should have cut it down to the size of a music video, too. Around like 5 minutes. They can make a pretty good music video out of 5 minutes.
If they shortened this down to an AMV, just gave me highlights, I would say this was a...
So you mean a movie trailer?
Yes.
This was a trailer?
They did... You know what? They did the trailer well. Because they didn't reveal who the villain was. They didn't reveal much, and they were hyping it up. And I was like, all right. I didn't like in the trailer how much Jared Leto was in it. Because I said it from the beginning, I don't want Joker there. DC is using him and Batman as a crutch. Harley Quinn, yes, she was made off of the Joker, but she's already a strong female character who's been established. We don't need Joker anymore for her to be in the limelight. People like her. We don't need Joker to fucking hold her up every time. And I think this movie kind of proved that because their scenes are a different movie. I felt like I was watching two movies in one terrible sitting. I was like, all right, sure.
Yeah, I felt I was watching Batman vs Superman and then, like, Let's Be Friends, a romantic comedy starring Harley Quinn and Joker, because they're, like, texting each other during, like, the craziness going on. It's like, yo, I'll get you outputted. And, like, shit like that. And I was like, what kind of movie is this?
And the thing about Joker, I'm surprised, Lugo, you seem to like the Joker, right?
I don't know. I like that he was different. That's pretty much it, though.
Because my thing with Joker is, I think Jared Leto's an okay actor, whatever. But I didn't like this Joker. He wasn't the mobster that Jack Nicholson was. And that's fine, because he has to make his own interpretation. But I didn't see him... Like, he was a mobster. I just didn't understand his shtick.
He's like a modern monster.
He's like a gangster. Like,
his like biggest threat in the movie was like having a man kiss and ring and then straddling him, or giving Common Harley Quinn. He's like, yeah, have my girl. Oh, you don't want my girl? And then he kills him. I was like, I don't really understand. Like,
that's
he didn't seem...
He's just crazy. He's just a crazy guy. I feel like he's just a
crazy, but not menacing. I feel like if you're gonna be a mobster, you should have some. You should be a threat.
Yeah.
Him or his goons weren't really threatening.
He's James Franco from Spring Breakers.
It's so sad how right that
or Riff Raff.
Yeah.
He's Riff Raff.
He's Riff Raff. No, he really is Riff Raff, because, yeah, he's Riff Raff.
It's so sad how true that sentence is.
Like, people were bothered by how he looked. That doesn't really bother me. If you give me a solid performance, I'll work with you.
Yeah, man, he looked like he's auditioning for, G's to Gents. A real believable performance.
Because I'm going to tell you, the beginning of this movie, you will be misled. You will be like, oh, this is wait, Enchantress does her hand thing to...
Oh, that's cool.
I was like,
that was actually...
This is actually really... This better be lit. You see a glimpse of the Flash. I was like, all right. Movie's going to make some sense. No. Just no. This movie looks bad, and we'll treat it bad because it is bad.
I just ruined it for myself when I compared his laugh to the Major Payne laugh.
Oh.
Oh my god. That's all I heard after that.
Didn't Major Payne have a little bit of grills in his mouth too? Like,
he had the gold
two gold teeth. Yeah.
But that's the I don't know. I just like that he didn't try to copy. He tried to like really branch out from the other Jokers. So I thought that was pretty cool. I mean, it didn't work out, but I commend his that he tried.
I don't know who's worse, Luthor or Joker.
Luther, come on, that guy was bad.
The bells are ringing.
He also made me laugh, ironically. That Jolly Rancher, that was funny.
Joker straddling a man, that was pretty funny.
That laugh is funny though.
The first time he does it, he squeaks it. I'm like, what the fuck was that, man? He squeaks a little in the beginning of it.
Does he?
Yeah, listen to it again. You're gonna hear him squeak a little. Yeah, squeak. No. Oh, no?
I'm not rewatching that movie.
I like how David Ayer was probably like, yo, Leto, you want to do that again? He's like, nah. That was good.
That was the take.
Because I heard he was wilding out during the production of this movie. They were getting tattoos and stuff.
They all got matching squad tattoos.
Will Smith didn't get one, right?
Smart.
He was like, nah. Nah, I ain't about that.
You know what the thing is I feel like they thought in the back of their mind, if our cast has a good chemistry, maybe the movie will be better. Maybe that's what they thought. I think one of my favorite characters in this movie, by far, besides Diablo, the intro, out of the good things, the one really good thing that they did was Slipknot. Slipknot held it down.
How he just died?
Because in every Suicide Squad movie, by the way, no, we didn't need Will Smith to say, so what are we, some type of Suicide Squad? But in every version or whatever of that comic, you need somebody to die. So I just remember in the theaters watching it with a friend of mine, and he was like, Who's that guy? I haven't seen him in any of the commercials. And I just busted out laughing. I was like, oh, it's him. He's the chosen one this time. But that's all I have to say about that movie. Savant, take it away.
Slipknot's power was to climb.
To climb?
I think it was he was an escape artist.
He could climb anything.
You know what's funny about Slipknot is he came in the shotgun passenger seat out of a regular car. Everyone else was coming out of jail. They brought in Captain Boomerang in a sack. And he came out of a car just chilling. He wasn't even handcuffed. He punched a woman on the way out. I was like, oh shit, he did. He's not a villain.
He's like, she has a mouth on her. I was like, what the fuck?
He was not a villain. I don't know why he was there.
You can tie ropes. That's literally one of his things. You can tie knots.
That's
Again, these are not metahumans.
Man.
The monkey's fist. The monkey.
He was SpongeBob from that episode.
A lot of these villains are from Batman's Rogues Gallery, but the lower tier. Slipknot's probably a few notches away from Stilts Man or Calendar Man.
No, he's definitely there. They just made him look badass. He sucked dick in this movie.
I think my favorite scene in this movie was when Captain Boomerang just left. If he just stayed gone, I would have rated this movie much higher.
Yeah, that part.
I would have gave it instantly 3 points.
I did laugh on that.
You know what's funny? I had like a completely different idea of what this movie was gonna be because when I heard about it and what people were saying about it, it sounded like an ensemble cast movie, kind of like an Ocean's movie. Mm-hmm. And I thought like they picked the team to do like a very specific mission. So it was gonna be like
y'all should be writing movies.
So it was gonna be like it was gonna be like kind of like a heist movie, and like all of them like doing different parts and stuff, and maybe like there's a traitor in the mist or something like that. And I thought that was kind of be like the kind of movie it was, but like since they made their villain and their villain was overpowered compared to them, it just didn't make any sense. Like I was like, you made a superpowered movie based on these guys that barely have any powers.
But the thing is, and it's why the bar scene is so essential. It's because that's where the moral of the movie is. That's where the heart is. It's after Flag releases all this information, and you know Will Smith's like, for no reason whatsoever, is like, I'm gonna take you there because we gonna end this. And he's like, you know, Deadshot's back with me. Harley Quinn hops over the counter, walks over, and she's like, come on, let's go, guys. And everyone stares at her. I don't know why Katana stares at her. She actually chose to be on this mission. But whatever. Let's ignore that. She's like, come on. And they're like, we're not. Why do we need to go? And she's like, what, you got something better to do? And that's the moral of this story. That's why DC does it to us. You have something better to watch? No. Watch this.
You know what's funny? I do. Let me go watch Zootopia.
Made more than Batman vs Superman. Might as well go fucking watch it because that's how people rate movies now. If it made money, it's good.
Is that the scale?
That's the new thing that's going on.
Yeah, people like Suicide Squad just passed Avengers, broke records, more records than Civil War. It must be better than Civil War. Like, so that's how that works.
Hey, it had a good soundtrack, a good intro. I don't know what else I could give this.
I even call it a good soundtrack. It was a compilation of a bunch of popular songs. They didn't make that soundtrack. They just paid for it.
I guess.
A bunch of licenses.
I think you guys
They're like, Eminem, let's pay you for 5 minutes of music.
You guys are underestimating the power of the cheeks, my guys. You guys are underestimating the trailer. That had it in the trailer. Ever since everybody saw the trailer, everyone went to the movie to see cheeks. People were complaining when they edited the booty shorts a little lower. They took the cheeks away.
I just feel like what Amanda Waller was saying in the movie was what the writers were saying to me. We'll give them a shitty movie, but we'll treat it like it's good. And I was like, no, that philosophy doesn't work. But I can't. I'll go on all day. I'm ranting now.
Sadly, before I start my roast, Junior must leave.
Yeah.
Because he has something to do, so...
I fucking work.
Lugo is needed to roast elsewhere.
In his bed, passed
Goodbye.
out.
Make sure you shit on this movie while I'm gone.
Lugo, quick rating?
Quick rating. I'll give it a... I don't want to rate it. I'll give it a 0. Like, not a 0 because...
Wow.
I just don't want to rate it. I don't want to rate it. I'm neutral. I don't know.
You didn't put in no answer?
I'll give it 5 Margaret Robbie butt cheeks out of 5.
That's 2 asses and a half.
What the fuck? Yo, that ass is nice though.
Oh my god.
That's the yo.
Margaret Robbie's pretty sexy.
She is.
Yeah, give me that.
Alright, Stefan.
Drive us home.
Well, since Junior left, I was going to answer a question for him. So before we do this, I'll answer it here so we can watch it later on. Junior asked, why did Diablo transform into a gigantic Quetzalcoatl?
Was that not Opwalk? I thought it was Opwalk.
Opwalk is, he summons the dead. He's like a necromancer kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
At least that's what Smite describes him as. I don't know anything about mythology, actually. No.
Did you take a class on that?
Yeah, aced it. Anyways.
Guess not.
The reason why he transforms into a giant skeleton, the reason why El Diablo does that is because in certain iterations of the comic, he's possessed by the devil, or he's possessed by a god, like a demigod. And that's why he transforms when he gets really angry or when he decides to go anime mode. So
I just love the brother's face when he transforms. Like, wait, I wasn't fighting you before.
So yeah, there's that. But getting onto the brass tacks here. This movie fucking sucked. It was garbage. There was no fight scenes. The choreography wasn't there. The fight scenes kind of seemed like fight scenes you'd see out of like Law and Order.
Oh my god!
There was nothing flashy about them. They were pretty boring and stale. And when I told the best scene in the movie was Will Smith on the car, that's because that was the best scene in the movie. That's all they had in him was Will Smith on the car. Now I did like the movie. I liked certain parts of the movie. Like some of the stuff was funny.
Supposed to get tight.
No.
I was like, we talked about this.
I didn't like them. The movie sucked. I liked the beginning because the beginning felt interesting. Just them getting their own little introductions. They got that little cartoony face and shit like that, like the Killer Croc. It has like his eyes glowing and all that shit. Yeah. And like, those little cartoony neon light things. That was pretty fucking cool. It was pretty entertaining. But after that, the movie kind of just doesn't like level out. It kind of stays negative for the rest of the fucking movie. Just stays bad. It's literally all downhill from there. And it's weird. I really do want to like this movie. I like big team up movies like this, but there was no development, so no one really had anything going for them. Like Killer Croc, he was supposed to say interesting things, or just not talk at all. Like when you have a character like that, when he says shit, he's supposed to be like, what's the word? He's like the characters. They seem like they should have fought each other instead of had a disagreement along the line. Like something like Avengers, you know how they always fight each other or some shit like that? Mm. Seems like he would be the person to break it up. Like he would be the most whimsical out of everybody else. But no, he just had lines like, I'm beautiful. Or, I want booty, BET, all day, black entertainment television.
I mean, it's weird how everyone just fell in line and followed Deadshot. Like, no one was really challenging his leadership. They're just like, well, he's Will Smith, so he's the highest paid here, so I guess we gotta listen to him.
Like, Suicide Squad, I don't read a lot of the comic books, but, like, from what I know and what I have seen, they don't like any of each other. They're kind of like, they are a group of rogues. They all, like, go whichever path they want to go. And I thought it was going to be like that. Like, they're split up in the beginning, and they all go their own separate path to try and stop this thing, because they have no other choice. And then they realize they can't do it alone, so they kind of get together. But it didn't do that. I mean, it would have been cliche if they did that, but it would have been better than what I just watched, anyway.
I mean, it would have made more sense if there was a mission that needed them all. Like, they needed to be together. But this mission, did it really need all of them? Not even.
Something not died in the beginning, so he didn't even make it to the end.
All you needed was C4. Nope, that's all you needed.
C4. And then Will Smith with a gun.
You know what's crazy about that is, like, I wonder why it took Enchantress so long to think up this plan. Because they had her for a while. She could have, any moment, just stole her own heart back.
You know what's funny? She basically let this team happen.
Yep.
She let her own defeat happen.
I don't understand.
It's like fucking Hydra from the Captain America movies. It's like Hydra's been in the system since the very beginning. He's like, so Hydra let the Avengers be created so they could whoop their ass? Good job. I like that Will Smith played his character from Bad Boys. That was pretty funny because he wasn't Deadshot.
So you like how he didn't
he didn't act at all. He just acted like Will Smith from every other Will Smith movie. And he always took off his mask. It was like I was watching Amazing Spider-Man all over again. He just kept taking his mask off.
Look, you should have known he was going to wear that mask, man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, it's Will Smith.
Well, he had zingers. You got Yao laughing with, how are you not dead?
Gold stat triangle, bitch, yeah.
That got me so mad. I was like, what is he talking about?
You know, white it up. You know what I'm saying?
That was funny. Only because the white guy he was talking to was like, yeah, I know what this means. Yeah. White people do shit up, yeah. We do that. I was like, what?
You know what would have been funny in this movie? When Rick Flag was like, you guys are free to go, and he broke the machine, if all of their heads just exploded. At that very moment, you guys are free to go. Breaks the machine, they all just die. Like, good movie, alright.
That should be an alternate ending on the Blu-ray.
What's crazy also about that is I don't know why they never killed Amanda Waller. Any of them.
You could have done it any time.
Literally, when she, like, pulled out, she's like, I could just end you all. I was like, we have guns. And in this movie, they're very effective.
Yeah, she had some kind of contingency plan, like, if you guys kill me, after, like, 5 minutes, someone will, like, anonymously send, like, a signal that will blow up.
Because Captain Boomerang was actually speaking logic throughout the entire movie. Everything he was saying was pretty real. He's like, I don't have to stay here. I should just leave. Don't know why he came back. When he looked at Amanda Waller, he was like, 10 years off a triple life sentence. That doesn't mean shit.
That's funny. He has a triple life sentence for a guy who just robbed banks. He didn't do anything else.
But he did it with boomerangs.
Oh, that's you.
He was Australian. He was doing it with boomerangs.
Boomerangs are illegal outside of Australia.
Only metahumans use boomerangs.
You know, the crime stack.
It's funny, for as unique as they make these characters seem in the comic books, no one was really unique in this movie. Harley Quinn had a bat and a gun. Deadshot had a lot of guns. Captain Boomerang has trick boomerangs, but he didn't do anything with them.
He had a pet unicorn.
Oh yeah, he had the unicorn thing. For some reason. And going on to how this movie was cut, you can obviously tell where the jokes were placed in this movie, because in development for this movie, they pulled it back to put jokes in. So you had scenes like the guy was like, if this man shoots me and kills me, make sure to kill him, and then delete my internet history. And you're like, what the fuck was that scene for? What did it have to do with anything?
It was really jarring. Like, the movie was like trying to seem like dark and like Grindhouse, and then like some parts it was like super light, like it was trying to be like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, like it had like these weird ass jokes out of nowhere. That's because people were like, oh, DC movies are too dark, so they wanted to put jokes in this movie. But it didn't really work in his favor. The jokes were like really in your face. They were out of nowhere, and they weren't even like well placed. Like, everyone here is ugly on the inside. Everyone else, we might be look nice on the outside, but we're all ugly on the inside. And then fucking Kevin Clark's like, but I'm beautiful. Like, what the fuck was that?
It's so random. It's just, it doesn't belong.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about with this movie. Like, what do you guys want? He's like, yeah, I want to see my daughter. He's like, what do you want, Kevin Clark? He's like, yeah, B-E-T. And like, what the fuck was this?
They literally have a scene of him sitting down on a couch, and the sewer just like,
just
bobbing his head,
watching women twerk and shit like that. It's so weird. So like a lot of the scenes, because of the comedy, were cut odd, and because of like the scene progression, a lot of scenes made me feel like I was watching different movies. Like every time Enchantress was doing her weird fucking belly dancing bullshit scenes, I thought I was watching like a fucking magic film or some shit like that. Like a Justice League Dark movie. And then Joker, I thought I was watching a Joker movie when it was just Joker scenes and like him and Harley and whatnot. So it was like 3 movies in one. 3 really bad movies. So it was triple the shit. None of the fun.
Hey man, I mean, you get a good value. Triple the shit for the price of one movie.
Oh, there's the silver lining.
I mean, I don't know what to tell you, man. I mean, I knew the movie was going to be bad, but I expected a different movie. Like I said, I expected more of like a heist movie, where it's like, you're the, smart one or whatever. Like, you're going to take all the cameras.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I was like, oh, they're really... So, because, Amanda Waller is like, she uses these guys for like covert ops.
Yes.
So you expect something like, okay, this is a mission that we're going to send these guys on to do, and only they can do it. And since they're the Suicide Squad, we can like kill them off if they end up getting caught. Like, instead of causing like an international incident, we say like, oh, it was a bunch of criminals. So I was like, oh, so it might be something like that. But it's like, it's literally them saving the world. I was like, what? Like, this is not like a covert op. It's like there's lightning in the sky, shit's happening.
like end of the world level threat and shit like that. That was weird. This movie definitely, you know what? This villain, they should have definitely gone with a different villain. Because this villain felt like more of a bigger threat and something more, targeted towards the Justice League or like the Justice League Dark, because it was a magic villain. But like, the bad guy should have been someone like Deathstroke or some shit like that. Someone like, at least if they all beat him at once, that would have made sense. Deathstroke's like Diesel, but he ain't like God level. They should have been someone more suited for this.
I just didn't understand her. Like, she was standing and belly dancing in her like Aztec formal wear or whatever, but she's like, my weapon is almost complete. I was like, it's been the same thing the entire time, and when it was complete, it looked exactly the same. It could just shoot now satellites and like naval bases.
Funny thing, that weapon didn't even look cool. It just shot lightning at things.
I just love how she was like, they worship machines. I was like, no, we don't.
But she knew the threat. She's like, they worship machines. C4 can kill me.
I just was like talking. I was just thinking. I was like, go to your latest like Catholic church. That's not true. There's not a bunch of machines in that church. All right. That's what she's like, talking about.
You know, she's funny. She's like, they worship machines, but not. In the beginning of the movie, when Amanda Waller walks in the restaurant, there's a dude outside praising Superman with fucking Remember Superman shirts and shit. And Batman vs Superman, they were fucking bowing to him like he was God. Remember when he went to the Mexicans and they were just like, "Let me touch you." Yeah, so I don't even know where that came from. Like, you worship machines and whatnot.
It seemed to be like some kind of commentary on like technology, like recently, with, like, people are ruled by their iPhones because they're always looking at their screens. But I was like, why is she so like apt on this shit? Didn't you just come out? Bitch, you've been ancient for years. What are you talking about? They worship phones. I'm like, you been watching and reading Forbes or something? You on Facebook? What the fuck you talking about?
Learning.
Are you learning?
Oh my god, Apocalypse.
Found an iPhone and just learning.
You know what? I would give this movie a 5-star rating if she did that. If they did that to spite Marvel. If her brother came out, he's like, "What's been happening in the world?" and grabbed a random TV screen.
But also, what I found funny, like when Enchantress took June Moon's body, she took someone who looked like her body. So, do you mean that black guy that they put her brother in? Did he look like him in the past or something like that? Or was this like black people look really intimidating, so you just beat this black guy?
I don't know, man.
I was so angry with the fight with him, because like when he first is summoned or created or whatever, he's like throwing his like arm blast, killing people and just hosing down the subway. And then once it's, the main characters, all he's doing is just kicking them. And I was like, what happened to your weird like tentacle arm thing? That's just ineffective now.
Nah, I can't let them die. They gotta beat me.
The plot demands they beat me.
The plot demands it.
You know what's funny? He looks like that thing from the Thor movie, the first Thor movie, the Destroyer armor.
Oh my god,
yeah.
he does.
Yeah, he looks just like that, except
with less good CGI.
Yeah.
And you're black.
This movie, that's a big problem for this movie too. Its CGI was really obvious. Like, it was blaring. Like, it was all up in your shit. Like, fucking El Diablo burning all those people.
That was so bad.
And then, when Amanda Waller's helicopter goes down, the debris that blows up off of it looks like some digital sprites from a fucking Mario 64 game. It was mad. I was like, whoa, what the hell is that? Like, like in old cartoons when they do like a 3D joke and it falls and it blows off and it's like little pixels. That's what the explosion looked like. I was like, what the hell is that, man?
Also, how did Joker survive at the end of the movie?
He just did. He just appeared with no scratches on his face, nothing different.
I feel like they're like saying like, this is a shit movie anyway. Why are you asking questions? You over here wondering why Joker's alive. Did you just watch a shitty movie?
Stop asking questions.
I can't with this movie at all.
So like Yao said after we finished watching the movie, it's like fucking Master Asia from G Gundam. Stop asking questions. I'm here, aren't I?
So I don't even think I'd be a waste to say final thoughts. This movie was not good.
It was bad, and you think it's good. You're a bad person. Full stop.
Junior's not here, so I'll emulate Junior. The cheeks. Yeah, he'd say that, right? He said that? Yeah, the cheeks. Okay.
Yeah. It had some highlights.
Yeah. The underlying... The way I'll end this is with a comment I saw on Facebook. And the comment basically put everything together for me. People act like because these movies are happening, that we should just accept a bad product. Which is never how anything should be. Batman vs. Superman was a bad movie. Just because it was the world's finest finally going at it on the big screen doesn't make it good. It was bad. It had bad CGI, bad story progression, and it was cut bad. This movie had no fight scenes. It was really dark. It was like X-Men Apocalypse, but instead of a stupid blue shade over the fucking screen, it was just completely black all the time. I couldn't tell what was happening with fight scenes. So it was that. CGI was bad. The story was bad, and no one really got development. Only Will Smith and Harley Quinn, and Diablo got that one scene.
I'm gonna end this with a joke of a friend of mine's. When you look at something, because certain people they'll look at it and they just think it's good. It's like, oh, they put out a movie, they'll pay their money, and whatever, they'll shut off their mind, whatever. But as a good friend once said to me, was look at it, and I was like, I don't get what you mean, and she was like, no, really, look at it.
Oh God.
I think that's all you have to do with these movies, because people think or assume, I don't know how you don't get confused by our name, the roast session, that we are gonna have some positive views. We didn't talk about Deadpool because that's a good movie, and I stand by that.
We talked about Civil War because it did have some big ass flaws in it, but it was still a decent movie across the board. But it had flaws to be roasted.
But when it comes to movies, that's all we ask of you to do. Just take a second and be like, wait a minute, that's not good.
Turn off your comic book fan side of your brain. Look at this movie like an actual fucking movie. Is this a good movie?
Because that's other people. They get obsessed with the comics. Like, oh, it doesn't go with the comics, or this part does go with the comics. I don't give a fuck. I'm watching this movie as its own separate entity. And in this movie, They said he looked like a monster, so we'll treat him like one. That's not an origin story, but whatever.
I mean, I just find it funny when people say, you know, turn your brain off. I'm like, why would I want to do that?
I want to pick up the subtleties. I like the little jokes and whatnot. I like the little character banter. If I turn off my brain, I'm basically just watching a bad movie as like a fucking brain dead idiot, man.
It literally makes me think that people have abilities that I do not have. I can't just shut my brain off when I'm watching something.
Maybe I'm the only non-metahuman.
Everyone else is metahumans. We're just normal. All right.
And on that note, we'd have to end this roast. Thank you for watching the roast session. We'll catch you guys later. I've been Yao.
It's always Gabs.
Stefan, I didn't clap in the beginning.
And Lugo left, but
he's still here in spirit.
Alright guys, see you later.
That movie really sucked though.
I can at least like it sarcastically.
Oh, it was fucking like
because I can't like
Batman
v Superman sarcastic. It's that bad. I can't even like jokingly. But,
you don't like scenes of Wonder Woman shopping? Flashback.
Remember Harley Quinn broke the thing? He's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "We're bad guys. What else do we do?"
Like, oh, God. Was that no? That was it.